Welcome in to the Cobra Corner, episode 16 here. My name is Will Hable. As always, to my left is David Mack. We have some couple of headlines to go over this week, as well as recaps of games and looking in the next week, as always. So stick around for that. We got a lot coming at you. So to start off with some headlines for this past week. Two big wins against Limestone over the weekend. First with volleyball, and then following with women's soccer. And then men's soccer receiving votes in the D2 United Soccer Coaches Poll. So congratulations to the men's soccer team. And yeah, now we're going to get into some recaps of games that happened this past week.
All right, so on to our recaps. So two big wins, like we said previously, against Limestone over the weekend. One with volleyball, one with women's soccer. For volleyball, a 5-set win on the road against Limestone. Took the first set 25-17, dropped the second one 22-25, picked it up in the third one 25-20, let down set in the fourth, lost at 17-25, but then surged in the fifth set and took that one 15-9 to close out a conference victory. So the Saints were actually selected to finish 8th in the SAC preseason poll with 68 total votes, while the Cobras were selected to finish 5 spots below in 13th with only 12 votes to their name. So obviously a little underrated from our part, and it's nice to be able to show that in action. In that one, Kayla Gilmore co-led the team in kills with 13 with an astonishing 440 kill percentage, which is insane for those of you that don't know, while also recording 2 solo blocks and 5 block assists. Taylor Hills was the other leader with 13 kills, while Alyssa Carey with 12 and Hazar Kion with 10 were also in double figures. Maddie Roberts and Layla Hickson with 24 and 25 assists, respectively, were the 2 in double figures in that category on the evening. And then Meadow Morse had a great defensive showing with 27 digs. While Carey with 19, Hills with 16, and Hickson with 10 were all in double figures, and all 3 of them recorded double-doubles on the night. So, I mean, that one was just a great experience to be able to watch. I know both of us were able to watch that over the live stream, and, I mean, great performance by them to pull through. You know, the fourth set happened after they were up 2-1. You kind of thought that, oh, this might be a letdown game because they had lost 2 matches previously in 5 sets, one against FMU in their opener, and then again the next day against West Virginia Wesleyan. So, you know, the 5th set had kind of haunted them for a little bit, but
They came out swinging in that 5th set, so I know they needed
held
that
like a
for sure.
10-2 lead and held on for the victory. It was really, really awesome to be able to see that live, and yeah, they're improving steadily. I mean, I know we've kind of said this before on the podcast, but I mean, they've got a lot of freshmen playing in that rotation, a lot of underclassmen playing. So it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period, and they got to get used to the pace of the college game and and all that. But once they get it all figured out, this is going to be a really special group of girls, and they're going to make a difference. So.
Yep. And then they're going 5 sets, so for a freshman, you're getting the most reps you can.
Yeah,
There'll be 3 of those exactly going to 5 sets.
And you're even though you lost the first 2 games in 5 sets, you're learning how to handle that kind of situation. I mean, their first ever collegiate match, home or away, conference, non-conference, no matter what, against FMU. I mean, you're playing a local rival at home, so it's like you're in that environment, and that's their first baptism into the college game, and they go 5 sets, and unfortunately they drop it. But those are learning experiences early on, and can only teach them how to get better and grow in the game. So it was, and that paid off. When you get into conference play, you get into that same situation, and now you're handling business on the road nonetheless. So
moving outside of women's soccer, they had a game against Limestone as well, and won 2-0 to remain undefeated on the year. Maya Clark scored the first goal and drew the foul, which allowed Mallie Bates to score the second goal on the penalty kick. Kira Bolka assisted Clark on the first half goal. While Ryan Parkin, a candidate for this week's SAC Defensive Player of the Week, still has yet to allow a goal this season, had 7 saves in this one to record a clean sheet. David, we were both out there for that one. It was a dry and wet game, to say the least. The rain kept on coming. It kept going and coming away.
Yeah,
my words right now. But that was fun to watch, and this is seeing the improvement from the girls last year, because they would always start off the season playing out of conference opponents, and then schedule Limestone so early in the year.
Yeah,
it was always good for them. So they play great.
Yeah, and once again, this is another circumstance where Limestone was ranked pretty significantly above them. I think they were 7th in the preseason poll, and we were 11th in the preseason poll. So it was nice to be able to just say, hey, once again, you are underrating a Cobras sports team, and go out on the pitch and show them, you are underrating us 100% of the way. They've got some really, really good freshmen up top. And Ryan has had a really, really good start to the season. It's interesting I'm kind of handling the submissions for Player of the Weeks at this point, and Michael Donald had sent me an email saying, hey, we want to nominate these people, and I had already went in, and I was like, because I was like, she's got a really good chance to win it, and she got snubbed. I went to the office the morning that I found out who actually won it. I was like, oh my goodness, there's no way, because she has not allowed a goal this season so far, and she had 7 saves, but even the number on the stat sheet doesn't show how much she impacted that game, because although it was 2-0, really it was a close 1-0 game. And then the 88th minute, they won that penalty, and it ended 2-0. But there was a lot of, it could have gone the other way in the second half.
And there were a ton of Limestone chances.
Yeah.
Like in that last 20 minutes of that game, up into that penalty kick, everyone was like,
yeah, it was like an edge of your seat game that the score line really doesn't reflect how close the game was. And the reason that it ended the way it did was a huge part to Ryan Parkin.
Absolutely.
And the freshman with Maya getting the goal, and then also earning the PK, and then Kira Bolka, the other freshman up top, assisting Maya's goal. And then of course Bates on defense doing her thing.
It could have easily been 4-0 as well. They had plenty of on-goal chances that the goalie from Limestone made great saves, but
yeah.
It was an all-around very offensive-heavy game.
Ball was either. It was a good game. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, the men's game beforehand was also a good game. Unfortunately, that one didn't go our way. But it's nice to see a product get put on the field that proves everybody wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And they still haven't lost a game, and they still have not conceded a goal this season. So I'm interested to see with we'll talk about it a little bit more. They're playing Carson Newman this weekend, who is preseason number 4 in the conference. So it's going to be a really cool ride for them this season, and I hope that they can kind of ride this wave that they're on early in the season into later in the season success as well.
And hopefully they can keep on that train and that just good vibes of winning or not losing too.
Yeah,
because after the game, I saw me and Max went up to the huddle, and we saw Michael Don. He's like, man, it's like, I just love winning. So
yeah,
and I'm sure that resonates with the girls as well. So just to get that early taste of winning would probably be good for the rest of their season, for sure.
Yeah, especially with a huge conference win like that, and it's you can kind of get caught up in the moment. So it's about keeping the underdog mentality that they had with that preseason ranking being so low, and also not. But on the flip side, not getting ahead of themselves because they're undefeated. They have to remain grounded, keep that mindset going, and always fight till the end of the whistle, even if they're up in a game or even if they think going into a game, oh, we can handle these guys. Like, they have to take it seriously every single time.
Never ends up well when you do that, does it?
No, it
Any sport.
yeah. As you and I both know, being athletes, it's you got to keep the gas pedal on, otherwise
Never let off the gas.
Yeah. And out to the links for the first time this season with our first golf recap. The men's golf team placed third in the Griffin Invitational hosted by St. Leo. They shot 18 over as a team to take that placing there. Derek McLaughlin shot 2 over for a top 10 finish, placing 9th. And then another top 15 finish. Ty O'Brien shot 4 over just behind McLaughlin to place 15th. So a great overall showing. The two teams that were above them were Palm Beach Atlantic and St. Leo, who are both nationally recognized programs. And the fact that they're starting off with, we talked to, we had with John Hackney, the former coach who retired over the offseason. We had a conversation with him that they like to keep their schedule competitive, and they schedule those kind of tournaments where they're playing against nationally ranked teams consistently throughout, and they don't want to take it easy because the minute, he said, we could schedule some, random tournament on the weekend where, we're going to be the best team there no matter what. But he doesn't like to do that. And it looks like David Coker, the new golf coach, is kind of adapting that same mindset that they want to play the best of the best because they are amongst the best of the best. So great to see them. Great to see them succeed early on in the season, and hopefully can take some first place finishes here soon in that same level of competition. All right, so our last segment of this podcast will be just a look ahead into the coming week's events. Lots of away events here for us as there's nothing at home until next Wednesday. But first, volleyball travels to Newberry Friday night for a 7 p.m. first serve, then has a quick turnaround to play Southern Wesleyan at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Both those games obviously on the road. And then cross country travels to the Converse kickoff for a 9 a.m. start time on Saturday.
Both of our soccer teams will travel up to Carson Newman to continue SAC play, with the men kicking off at 2:30 and the women kicking off at 5 p.m. Women's golf will travel to the Savannah Lakes Invitational at the Monticello Golf Club in McCormick, Georgia on Monday. All right, that's all we have for this podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching as always, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Go Cobras.
Go Cobras, baby.